Hi, I'm Dr. Denise Taliaferro Baszile, and I am a professor of curriculum and culture studies and an associate dean for diversity and student experience at Miami University of Ohio. And so I just want to say a little bit today about the importance of diversity and inclusion, and especially equity. And I want to tie it to my work. I'm really a curriculum theorist, Black feminist theorist, critical race theorist. And I always think about these things in terms of the curriculum. And so usually when we think about the curriculum, we think about it as just a list of things that we're supposed to teach, or the text or the ideas that we're supposed to teach. But I really want to encourage us to think about it in the way we like to think about it in curriculum studies, which is symbolically, that really the curriculum is the stories that we tell our children about who we want them to believe that we are and who we ultimately want them to be. And so when those stories are untrue, or those stories are half told, or those stories don't acknowledge both the beauty and the complexity of our society, of our country, then they're not narrating belonging, and they're not taking us where we want to go. They're certainly not taking us to better futures. And so, but you could see why all of the intensity around curriculum when you start thinking about it that way. And for some people, it is absolutely about maintaining power through a particular kind of narrative. And for other people, it is about creating more justice, more peace, and more equity, more of a sense of belonging for as many people, the many people who make up our very diverse society. So it truly is important and cannot be sort of underestimated. And this whole thing that's going on right now really is disturbing for many reasons, but the reality is that the effort, I mean, imagine a campaign for ignorance, like let's campaign to keep people ignorant. Or imagine that in any sort of troubled relationship, that the prescription for a troubled relationship would be, well, just don't tell the whole truth. Just lie a little bit and things will get better, right? That sounds ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous in that context, and certainly sounds ridiculous in this context. And so I surmise that, all of the sort of culture wars that are going on right now are more about power than they are about anything else, in an effort to really maintain the kind of power and white supremacy that has brought us to this point, into the space of these discussions. So I think it's critical, and that our narrative of belonging has to be as open to as many different people as possible. And we don't grow otherwise, because in order to grow as a person, you have to constantly be engaging in critical self-reflection. And you can't do that work if you are not rubbing up against difference, if you are not engaging with people who are not like you, because that's where your real questions will come from. It will come from the questions that you ask yourself when you bump up against that difference, and don't see yourself in that same light. So I think it's critical, and we have to keep up this fight. The last thing I will say about this is that we're in for a tough battle in a lot of these states and a lot of these school districts. I've already been to a couple of school board meetings who are, trying very hard to, deal with the ghost or the boogeyman of critical race theory, which is so ironic to me, because for those of us who do this work, you know that what we've been fighting for is to have these things done in school. And mostly what we're seeing is that they're not always done in school. So it's an interesting battle, but I think we have to keep it up. We have to keep at it. It's important because, you know, the parents who are dissenting, they are not the only citizens of the school district. You know, all of us are citizens of the school district, and we all are contributing to it in some way, shape, or form. So we have to stand up and speak out. The other thing I would say is I think so important to remember, is that do not let school hold your education hostage. School has a purpose and a function, but it is not the totality. And it is not the only place where we can engage and have conversations and learn about these ideas. And so I like to remind everyone of that, because as they say in my family, one monkey don't stop no show. So though we have to spend some time battling for the curriculum in schools, we have a whole platform. This right here is one of them, to keep speaking truth to power.